Younger generations definitely need more truth and wisdom, less ideologues and indoctrination. Watch this.
How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces,
12 ounces?
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
Guys, approaching women isn't hard. You guys feel like you have to blow us away, sweep us off our feet.
Let's discuss something much more important than approaching women in this radioactive wasteland called the dating market. This is far more important. I don't know if this gentleman, this teacher, this professor knows this, but he is actually teaching a biblical concept from Jesus Christ on Matthew chapter 5, 6, and 7, the Sermon on the Mount, which is ethical and moral genius. Ultimately speaking, the first thing that comes to mind and why I want to cover this video is because we live in the most anxious, depressed, and suicidal set of generations in all the free world. And I want to let people know what this gentleman, where he is coming from with all of this. I don't know if he's a believer or not, but ultimately, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, Jesus Christ says, "Do not be anxious for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Each day's own evils is sufficient." In other words, do not compound all the stresses that is going to come with this life. Do not overextend yourself beyond your capabilities. Matter of fact, Jesus Christ himself also says in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 to 30, my favorite set of verses in all of Scripture, "Come to me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you." A yoke is not, we're not talking egg yolks. A yoke is a wooden contraption used for farm animals to be joined together so they can work together to move the field, to work together to plow the field in a straight line together. The thing is, though, is that if the one farm animal is stronger than the other farm animal, the stronger one will overcompensate for the weaker. Christ says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." If you yourself are in the yoke with Christ and you have a heavy burden, give it to him. He is the strongest of all. He will give you a light burden, and he'll give you rest for your souls. So come to him with your worries, with your anxiety, with your depression. Even, Lord forbid, if you're suicidal, give him your worries, and he will give you a light burden. And then verse 30 says, "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So come to him with your worries, with your concerns about the future, as bleak and as dismal as it can be. I believe in my soul that we're only going to get worse as far as being anxious, depressed, and suicidal as days get closer to the last days, which is where I believe in my soul we are currently in right now. But ultimately speaking, there is a level of love, joy, and peace that you can only experience, the type that makes no sense, by giving yourself to Christ and putting yourself under his yoke and having rest for your souls. I believe is an invaluable asset that can only be given due to the one who loves you and me so much. So please, if you're not under the yoke, if you're not given rest for your souls, if you haven't considered giving your life to Christ, I would strongly, wholeheartedly recommend it. As someone that used to be depressed, suicidal, and anxious to the point where I wanted to take a 6-hour P365 macro, take it to my head and pull the trigger, but said, I don't want to live this way anymore. Not my will be done, but your will be done. Once I finally said that in humility and stopped doing my worldly ways, that's when I started to have that true love, joy, and peace. And I believe you all can have it too. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe. I thank you for the support, and I hope you all have a blessed day. All glory to my great King.